Hi Cancer, happy Halloween. Welcome to October 2021 Astrological Forecast. So I think probably one of the biggest things that you might be interested in for this month is the fact that the planet Pluto, which is in Capricorn, your opposite sign, turns direct. Okay, on, let's see here, the 6th. Okay, where you have Capricorn in your chart is your 7th house. It's directly across from your 1st house of Cancer. 7th house is close relationships and partnerships. This is business or romantic partnerships, or like just a close friend. When this planet was retrograde, it may have seemed that maybe you were trying to bring about some kind of changes in any of these relationships, and any kind of progress you were making kind of like slowed down, or didn't, it was like beating your head against the wall, that like nobody understood what you were saying or trying to do, or what you were getting at or something, or at least they acted like that. They weren't like real receptive to anything you might have been trying to change in your relationship with them. Okay, it could be anything, something very minor even. But now that this planet is moving forward, it'll take a while to kick in and everything, but you'll notice a little bit of a difference. Your relationships are going just a little bit more smoothly. I've mentioned over many years here, because Pluto's been here for a while, that a lot of times you have a partner or someone in your life, or could even be an institution of some kind, in fact a government institution, that has, or they're very domineering towards you, and you feel like you have to check with them before you do anything, and you're kind of like always under their thumb or something like that. That kind of relationship, or they're the leader of the two of you, or something or other. They're the ones, pulling all the strings in your life. So I mean, it's not necessarily true, but it is a feeling that you may possibly have had. Like, I think it's 2008 since Pluto moved into Cancer. I mean, Capricorn. I can't remember how long it's been there, but it's a long time. So you may have even gotten used to this kind of behavior, but I don't know that anyone could actually get used to something like that. So periodically, you do try to change things in this relationship, okay, in one of them at least. Anyways, so the sun is in Libra. Okay, where you have Libra in your chart is your 4th house. The sun's here up until the 22nd. Mercury is here all month, and it's retrograde up until the 18th, when it turns direct. And then Mars is here all month up until the 29th, and there's a new moon in Libra on the 6th. So your 4th house is where you have the sign of Libra. This is your family life. This is where you actually physically live. Okay, your home, the people you live with. If you don't live with your family, you could have a roommate, or you could just live alone. Okay, it's also your past and your childhood, but it's your personal life. Okay, so having all these planets here means that there's an awful lot of activity going on here. Okay, usually I always say when Mars is here, this is when you try to make physical changes in your living area, your living arrangement maybe. If you are living with someone else, maybe you want to change rooms, or want to change something, or the way things are done, or responsibilities that you have or they have, or some kind of change there. But a lot of times it's physical, where you want to buy new furniture or appliances for your home, or do something pretty big to your home. Okay, so that's what Mars does. It gives you a lot of energy, and you could feel like you really want to do this or that to wherever it is that you live. There's an awful lot of activity going on here. Now with Mercury here being retrograde, it could be a lot of missed communications or messages from the people you live with, or maybe your answering machine or voicemail is acting up and you're not getting your messages. Or in fact, if you do live with someone and you have a roommate, they may be sitting on, let's say, like a package or something that UPS delivered to you and they forgot to give to you like last week. Though it's been sitting there for a week and you've been looking for it and checking the tracking number and all that crap like that. Okay, could be something like that going on. But again, this is your personal life though too, so you could be like reviewing something or other. Okay, there's a full moon in Aries on the 20th. And where you have Aries in your chart is your 10th house of your career and your personal and professional life, like how you're known by reputation. It's your most public house. It's how people see and talk about you publicly. Okay, so something could happen, let's say, like wherever you work or whatever it is that you do for a living. And even if you don't work, and you're retired, or if you're self-employed, but something could happen, how you bring money in, okay? Because if you're retired, you're still bringing in money to live off of, okay? So something could happen in your career or your public life that affects your personal life in such a way that your reputation or your career comes first, and you have to like take care of it or something or other, and you put your personal life on standby or on the back burner or something until this clears up, until you clear up whatever it is in regards to your reputation or your career. So I don't really think it's all that much of a big deal, but you might have to put, let's say, somebody in charge that you live with and have them take care of things because you're going to be busy pursuing or correcting something or other. Full moons bring things to a head where they can be dealt with and done away with. So that's what this would be regarding. Okay, so you might even be involved in something that you're helping other people or something, and maybe they're relying on you way too much. Maybe you have an expertise in some field or other, your background, and they come to you for information, but they want you to do everything. There's sometimes people around like that. So could be something like that. You have to put your foot down. Okay, so which you should. But again, too, with Mercury retrograde in your 4th house of your home, appliances might act up, and this is the whole point of wanting to buy appliances, electronics of any kind. Not a good idea to, especially a cell phone. Once Mercury turns direct, and a few weeks after that, everything will be back to normal. So you just purchase something that you already have that wasn't broken. Okay, so if you have something like that going on in your house, especially if you're changing, let's say, like satellite or cable servers or internet servers, you'll be like, this always happens, I'm gonna change to this company instead. And you know what, when Mercury turns direct, and it starts to trickle in that you kind of made a mistake probably, because it wasn't any better than what you previously had, the service you previously had. And in fact, you might even be paying for something you didn't even order. Okay. So anyways, okay, so the Sun moves into Scorpio on the 23rd, and Mars moves here into Scorpio on the 30th. Okay. Venus is in Scorpio up until the 6th, so it's actually been here since like last month. And where you have Scorpio in your chart is your 5th house of fun and romance, gambling, sports or games of any kind, entertainment, creativity, like going to the theater or a play or, something creative, even a collaboration, but it's the big romance and fun. Okay, so having Venus here preceding these other planets coming in, Mars and the Sun and everything, and Mercury eventually, but just means that you've already started doing something or other. It could be a creative project, or it could be something for fun, or maybe you are starting to attend, let's say, like a live play or go to the movies or something like that. But it could be romance though too, you know, at least maybe your mind turned to something like that. Um, you know, fourth house where you have Libra is your past and your childhood, okay? So with Venus in your fifth house of romance, it could be somebody from your past possibly coming back into your life, okay, when Venus was here, like since last month. Okay, now that these other planets are moving here, you know, it could be maybe they're back in town. It could be a childhood friend even. It doesn't have to necessarily be romance. Some kind of reunion possibly that maybe you attended, both of you attended, school reunion even. And no, it's like carrying on after that. You know, you're still doing stuff together just like you used to. Or, you know, just having fun in some way or other. But you could be taking up something a little different. Mars is like a very physical and energetic planet. And with it being in the fifth house, you might decide to take up something for fun, like bike riding or, I don't know, going for a walk or dancing, something, you know, that's fun, skiing, anything. But it does an awful lot of good. It's giving you like a lot of really good exercise. It's not just fun, it's exercising too. So you may continue to do it just for the fact that it's fun, but you're really getting something out of it, like a little bit of a workout, you know. I want to say though, this new moon around the 6th in Libra, in your 4th house, okay, whatever it was that you were trying to change there, okay, any kind of changes that you wanted to make to your home or your living arrangement, that's when they would begin. That's when you're going to lay down the law and say, well, this is the way I want stuff to be. And this is even if you live by yourself. Okay, there's something that you're going to do that you're trying to make a correction. That's what Mars does. It helps you to put things the way you want them to be. And sometimes it's like the way they used to be, back where they were supposed to be, because people have a way of undoing all the things that you do, because they have their way of what they want things to be. Okay, so that could be something like that, something that you're putting back the way it should have been anyway. So Venus, okay, actually moves into Sagittarius on the 7th and is here all month. And where you have Sagittarius is your 6th house of the workplace and the kind of work that you do, your work schedule. It's also the house of health. Having Venus here, though, as far as work goes, just means that you're having a really nice rapport with your co-workers or clients or the company you work for, higher-ups possibly. Even if you work alone or you don't work at all, there's still pleasant interactions with people. That, let's say, the 6th house is also the house of service to others, meaning that you do a favor for someone and they do something for you, and it's like a 50-50 thing. So you could actually make some kind of an arrangement right now with someone who needs help, but you also need help, so they help you and you help them, okay? This is also the house of health, though, and having Venus here does mean that sometimes you're attracted to sweets, a lot of good stuff, you know, to eat, candy, all that. It being Halloween month, I would have to say that, yeah, candy's around, an awful lot of candy's around right now. So, but as far as the workplace goes and the kind of work that you do, no matter what kind of work it is, you're putting like the kiss of Venus on it. You're prettying it up in some way or other. If you're in a creative field, then this really applies to you. But even if you have the most boring job, it's just, you know, nothing. It feels like it's nothing that you can do that's creative with it. There's still something that you're doing that is making it look better or prettying, like I said, prettying it up in some way or other. Okay, the two other planets that are turning direct this month are Saturn and Jupiter, okay? And Saturn in Aquarius turns direct on the 10th, and Jupiter in Aquarius turns direct on the 18th. And where you have Aquarius in your chart is your 8th house of other people's resources and money coming to you through means other than earning it. So this is the house of inheritances and legacies, insurance payouts, legal settlement payouts, bank loans, increased credit from credit cards, tax returns, refunds from the IRS or something, or other settlements, though, even. So this is like having these two planets here, because they're like exact opposites. Jupiter brings in opportunity and expansion, and Saturn brings in restriction and responsibility. Okay, so you may actually be like the executor of someone's will or be named in some way or other, but to foresee that someone gets what they want done with their estate when they're gone, and so you would normally get a fee for something like that. Okay, so maybe something like that is actually being put in motion. It doesn't necessarily mean it's happening right now. Actually, when these planets turn direct, it will take a while for them to kick in. But 8th house is other people's resources also, and that doesn't always have to be money. It could be anything that they have that you may need to use or borrow, or someone could even give you something at this time, even if it's like an appliance or equipment or their time. Okay, people are also resources. So somebody could help you at this time. But when these planets were retrograde, you probably didn't get any kind of movement in this area of your life. But now that they're turning direct again, if you were trying to get someone to help you, or you wanted to borrow money or something from someone else, or even borrow money from a bank, this would be the time to do this. I'd wait till like the very end of the month, okay, for this to really feel like, it's moving forward, and you expect some kind of results from whatever it is you're asking. Okay, let's see here. So the best time to do something each month is when the moon is in your own sign, and the moon is in Cancer on the 25th, 26th, and 27th. And the best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign, and your opposite sign is Capricorn. And those dates are the 11th, the 12th, and 13th. The best time for romance, recreation, creativity, fun, any kind of gambling or speculation, and anything to do with children is the 7th, 8th, 9th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd. The best time for money is the 1st, 2nd, 13th, 14th, 15th, 28th, 29th, and 30th. The best time for career is 18th, 19th, and 20th. And the best time for communication and travel is the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 16th, 17th, 30th, and 31st. So I hope you enjoyed your astrological forecast for October. I want to thank you again for subscribing and donating possibly to support my channel. It really helps it to grow. I really appreciate all your help. Check out my weekly forecast. Check out my Ask Me a Question. There's in the description box below, there's a link there. There's also a link to my website if you would like to have your personal chart done. This is just a general forecast, so if you wanted something more specific, you would have to have your chart done. Okay? So anyways, again, check out my weekly forecast. So I'll see you then next week. Goodbye.